Alright, so 2025 is basically over. I still got like one more cinema trip to go, 2025, but I don't think it's gonna be like that great. It's a bloody SpongeBob film. Don't ask. Do not ask. But anyway, I don't think that SpongeBob film will be the best. The best five. It might be in the worst five though, so I'm gonna saving that for that. But but anyway, year's over, so let's count down the best five films of the year. First of all, I want to give some honorable mentions. Frankenstein, a brilliant film, genuinely mind blowing. I was not expecting going into it. I was not expecting anything, but coming out of it, amazing performances. Every single performance in that film is amazing. The set design is amazing. Just the first bloody, I think 20, 30 minutes drags it down completely for me. If it didn't have that 20, 30 minutes and if it wasn't such a slog to get through, then it would have been probably been a close to number 2, 3, probably peak in top 3. I love this film. Del Toro is such a brilliant director. It's the only film that I've seen of him. The first and only film I've seen of him. Definitely not the last. So yeah, 2026. Can't wait to watch more of his films. But yeah, Frankenstein, honorable mention. Yeah, I'll try not to do too much on these honorable mentions. They're just going to be brief overviews, and then yeah. Another honorable mention is The Naked Gun. Genuinely, me and my mate watched this, and we still laugh at the jokes today. It's such a funny film. It's unbelievably funny. We went in there expecting a fun, like I knew at least what Aeroplane was. I knew what the original Naked Gun films were. I knew that type of comedy, but seeing it in 2025 with Liam Neeson, it was perfect. It's such a funny film. Genuinely, if you're gonna watch any film this year, go and watch Naked Gun. It's brilliant. Another honorable mention is Avatar: Fire and Ash. It's close to being on that top 5. It is really close to being on that top 5, but I see like I don't know. It's something about it. It doesn't beat the other two films that will be number 5 and one more honorable mention. But again, technical marvel. James Cameron did it again. All these Avatar films, especially these last two, Way of Water and Fire and Ash, have been outstanding to look at and outstanding to watch. The 3-hour runtime, I felt it at the end actually. I was going to say I didn't feel it, but I did feel it at the end. But still, for at least 2.5 hours, I was enthralled in it. And yeah. But another thing that I want to say, this film, it garnered the only time a standing ovation, not a standing ovation, but like a clapping after the film. The only time I've seen it was Wicked, which is well deserved. Wicked 2024 was so good. And then I think people actually clapped at the second Wicked, even though it didn't warrant it at all. But you know, but this film, Avatar: Fire and Ash, did get a clap at the end in my theatre, and I loved that so much. I think that added to my experience overall. Yeah, I'm probably gonna give this a rewatch. I don't know if I'm gonna watch it in cinemas again, but I will definitely give it a rewatch at some point. Because I did have a blast with it. But yeah, and my last honorable mention. This is again very close to number 5, but it's Bugonia. But yeah, it's great. I was expecting more from this film, to be honest with you, but it's very grounded. Jesse Plemons gives such a good performance, man. Such a good performance. Of a sadistic psychopath, just absolutely unhinged, and I love it. But the thing is, I like the end as well. I was gonna get into spoilers there, but I love the end. Emma Stone as well, brilliant. To me, she's never given a bad performance. I think Emma Stone's one of the greatest actors working right now. She's up there with Timothy Chalamet. I think Jesse Plemons is as well. But he's never been a leading man. In my opinion, like he's never really been the forefront of a film. like your Emma Stones, Ryan Gosling's, Timothy Chalamet's. But yeah, yeah. But I loved it. I think it was really good, especially the ending. I was just like, what the fuck? It was I'm really trying not to get into spoilers, but it was it was an interesting ending. Also, that cinema trip that I went to, I did a double feature, Back to the Future. I did Bugonia and then Back to the Future was Halloween. It was a great cinema. It was a great day for me. And I loved it so much. But anyway, Bugonia is an honourable mention. Sad, but yeah. Now into the top 5. I do want to preface. My Supreme will not be on this top 5. Not because I don't like it, because I've never seen it. It's only because the film doesn't come out till January 1st. So it'll probably be on next year's list, but it won't be on this year's list, even though so many people have already seen it, and I'm so jealous of them. I'm itching to see that film, genuinely. But anyway, number 5, Warfare. I went to see this with my mate, and fucking hell, it was such a. I think it was like May or something. And I think it was at the start of the year when the film started to get really good. In the Sinners time, and Warfare. It's very grounded, very realistic. There's not a moment of heroism. There's not like a main character moment. It is just a group of guys trying to survive war, trying to make it through the next moment, and watching that and knowing that it's from real events. I can't think of a better word than interesting, but it's not just interesting, it's enthralling. It's cinematic, but not in a Avatar sort of way. It's cinematic in a very grounded way, very realistic way, very gritty way. And also, just want to say that sound design, fucking hell, it's good. I remember when the planes were coming past, there's a moment where some planes come past them. I think 3 people were in my cinema, but the whole cinema started shaking. I don't know what was in those speakers, but the whole cinema started shaking. You could feel it in your body. It was, the sound design was something else in this film, and that's another reason why it beat things like Bugonia and Frankenstein, because that really added to the experience. But yeah, I loved Warfare so much. It was actually my number 1 for a while, and then sort of the films, but yeah. Warfare, number 5, great film. Now number 4, I feel like my number 4 is a lot of people's number 10s on their top 10 list, but number 4 is Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. I'm such a sucker for Mission Impossible. I absolutely love it, and it's so sad that this film didn't get the box office that I think it expected and I wanted it to. It was a major kind of failure, which is so sad, because the franchise Mission Impossible is so good. But listen, this Mission Impossible film is not anywhere near the best Mission Impossible film, but for me, it gets up there. I think the story is quite dull, one of the worst. The thing that stands out to me is the big stunt, the bi-wing plane sequence, the 2 planes. Fucking hell, I think that stunt goes on for about half an hour in this 3-hour film. That's just 3 hours. I forgot. I did forget it's 3 hours. So it's a long film, to be honest with you. But anyway, yeah, that sequence genuinely had me breathing like I was actually Tom Cruise. It had me shaking, had my heart racing. It was such I don't know, it was such an immersive experience. Even though I wasn't on those planes, it really did feel like I was on those planes. It was something else. It was really, I don't know, that experience was just so good. But yeah, Mission Impossible, I love the franchise as a whole, so that's probably why it's up there. As a film, I don't think, I'm just debunking my own thing now. I don't think it's the 4th best film I've ever seen. It's just my emotional attachment to the franchise. That's how it gets so high. Number 3 now is, it's a lot of people's number 1, or number 2 to be fair. But my number 3 is Sinners. I remember when I saw that, I was expecting like the second coming of Christ when people said see sinners, see sinners. So I went to see it with my mate, and when it was over, me and my mate both looked at each other and was like, yeah, it's okay. We didn't, like, I don't know. My mate didn't like this film because it got hyped up so much, and I didn't like the film at first, but then it's one of those films, the more that you think about it, the better it gets. I've not watched it since. I do need to watch it since, and maybe it'll change, but every time I think about this film, hear someone talk about it, I'm just like, this film was something else. It was such a, I don't know, it does dwane in the start. The start I don't really love as much as the halfway point onwards. Even then, I love the whole, I think I'd say second act onwards. The first act I didn't like, but the second act onwards I loved. All the vampire stuff, when the vampires get introduced, that's when it gets good. But the whole first act, I was fucking... Oh. But it's not as bad as Frankenstein. When Frankenstein, I was thinking about walking out of the cinema. It's not as bad as that. But anyway. Yeah, I love the... I still go back to the "Would I Lie to You" sequence where all the music comes together and like modern music, and it was when that scene, that the Wanna, that's what I was, the Wanna, when that scene came on, me and my mate looked at each other and was like, what the fuck are we watching? but genuinely it's one of the best scenes in cinema. I'd probably say it's probably like top 2, not in this year's cinema. It's probably top 2 scenes, I'd say. Number 1 is definitely a scene or a later film, but we'll get into that later. But yeah, genuinely great film, Sinners. I wish I had more to say on it, but I watched it in May and I don't really remember all of it. Should have done my homework, I know, but who cares? But yeah, Sinners, that's it. Number 3. Now my number 2 is another film that I was just absolutely blown away with. It's not as high for most people, I don't think, but for me, The Long Walk, it was such a great time. Like, it was a great experience for me from the cinema because I watched it with my sister. And I don't normally watch films with my sister, and that was I don't know, I just quite liked that experience alone. But the film, I wasn't expecting it to be as an emotional roller coaster as it was. There was times where I was bordering on the tears. I'm not gonna lie to you. It was really impactful for me. Everything about it, I loved it. Yeah, I don't know. It's just everything about it was just great. I think the only reason why it's, you know, a 9 out of 10 film, other than a 10 out of 10 film for me, is because the middle section. The middle section is like it does kind of drag. I don't know if it was the middle, but there's a section where it does kind of drag. I think it's actually near the end, which is a shame because it was such a good film. But there's some sections where it's just like, we can probably get a move on here. No pun intended. But yeah, Mark Hamill, great. The 2 leading performers, I don't know their names, sorry. Brilliant, genuinely brilliant actors. They really do have a future. And even like the story behind the production, where they filmed it in order, it adds to it 100%. But yeah, genuinely, not stopped thinking about it since October. It was a brilliant film. So yeah, and finally my number 1. It's a long film. It's a long video. This 16 minutes, but my number 1 is One Battle After Another. It's I remember seeing the trailers when I was doing a Nolan season in cinema. I was looking at the trailers and for this film, and I was like, this doesn't look great, but I'm gonna see it anyway because PTA and it's DiCaprio. I'm gonna watch it anyway. Before this film released in the UK, I think it released in America for like a week or two. The Americans were raving about it. I was like, what the fuck? This is going to be something special. Then I finally watched it, and fucking hell, it was so good. I think I had it at a 4.5 star, and then I watched it again in cinema like 2 weeks later. Bumped up to 5 star because there's not a single scene in this film that is boring. Not a single scene. Every single scene in this film has a meaning, has a purpose, and there's no. It's 3 hours. It's 3 hours long, and there's no filler. It's all killer, and I love it. I loved it so much. DiCaprio's performance, it's nuanced, but it's not over the top, but it's reserved. Well, it kind of is over the top a little bit, but it's reserved in a way that you don't feel like it's over the top. If that makes sense. I want to get the actors' names right. Chase Infinity, brilliant, genuinely. I say genuinely too much. I'm just now realizing this, but such a great actress. Also, Sean Penn. If he doesn't would he get an Oscar? I hope so for supporting actor. I really hope he gets the Oscar, but like he was so menacing in this, so scary. I've heard that he's not a great guy, but it was good. It was really good in this. So Benicio del Toro as well. He's Benicio del Toro. He's great in this as well. Everyone was top of their game, and the best scene of the year, the hill sequence. Brilliant. For that to be a climax of a film, it's not like an action sequence. It's not an over the top sort of fighting sequence. It's a gripping, on the edge of your seat car chase, and the cars don't even see the other cars that they're being chased by. It's so good. It's that scene is genuinely a masterclass in filmmaking, and it was something else. It was really good. It was really fucking good, man. I remember seeing it for the second time in cinemas actually, and I was bursting for the toilet like halfway through. I was like, fuck, we've got 3 more hours. Shit, what am I gonna do? And then I was like, let's wait for a scene that's not actually like that important. And I didn't get up out of my seat. I was near the toilet for halfway through. I was waiting for a scene that wasn't, too important that I could easily skip. But every single scene, I was like, no, I need to watch this. No, I need to watch this. No, I need to watch this. And I didn't get up till the film ended. That's how you know every single scene has a purpose and every single scene is brilliant, massively curated and amazing. But yeah, that's my top 5 of the year. I'm probably going to do bottom 5 probably tomorrow. I don't know when this is going to come out, but I'm going to record it tomorrow after the cinema trip to the SpongeBob film, because I have a feeling that might be on there. But yeah, that's it. See you tomorrow probably for the other top 5 in a bit.